For the pita bread, I'm gonna make dough out of 3 cups of flour. So the first thing is some filtered water, nice and warm. A tablespoon of sugar and a tablespoon of yeast mixed up. Let that dissolve. I'll need 3 cups of flour. Big pinch of salt. Mix that up with the salt. Pour in your liquid. And 2 tablespoons of olive oil. At this point, I can start working this with my hands. And now I'm just going to cover it with a towel and let it rest for about 15 minutes. While my pita bread is resting, I'm going to make some hummus. And I'm going to make it out of canned chickpeas. I'll drain the liquid. And in some clean water, I'm going to wash them and kind of massage them. So I'll break them up a little bit and get rid of some of the skin. And they're just going to stick to your hand. That just makes it more creamier because the skin, it's a little bit tough, even when it's cooked. So just do your best to get rid of some. It's not going to be 100%, and drain it again. So in my blender, I'm going to put my chickpeas. A good amount of crushed garlic. to taste. I like a lot of garlic, so I would say a big teaspoonful. And we'll taste it later and see if I need more. I'm gonna put some black pepper for taste, big pinch of salt, a little bit of water, maybe a quarter cup at this point to start with. And I'm not gonna use tahini, so I'm gonna put a little bit of sesame oil, just a few drops. So now I'm gonna start blending this. And the goal is to make it as smooth as possible before we start putting the oil in it. You may want to put a little bit more water. Don't be afraid, because the chickpea is pretty dry in consistency and it will take up a lot of liquid. This consistency, it doesn't drip, and it's almost smooth enough to eat it, but we still have to put the oil in it. So I'm gonna just keep blending it, and I'm gonna put about, I don't know, an 1/8 cup of olive oil maybe. So maybe your family doesn't like sesame oil, you can leave that out, but one thing that's good for this is gonna be a little bit of cumin. This is ready for eating. Now we just have to make some pita bread, right? Now that my dough has rested for 15 minutes, it's already risen. I'm gonna go ahead and punch it down, and I'm gonna knead it a little bit. And I'm gonna put it out on the bench. I'm gonna cut this into 8 pieces. A little bit of flour. And I'm gonna just roll them up in a ball. Like that. Put them aside. Cover your dough up and let them rest a couple of more minutes until you heat up your frying pan. You're gonna need a nice heavy bottom frying pan. Heat it up. Now what I'm gonna do for the first one, I'm gonna put a little bit of avocado oil, kind of season my pan. But you really don't have to. I just do that for safety, so I don't burn the first one. After that, it goes pretty well without any additional oil. Again, just to season the pan, because this is a stainless steel pan. It's not a non-stick. I only make one at a time. Once the pan is hot, shake off the excess flour, put it in the pan. While that's frying, I'm going to work on the next one because it does go pretty fast. When it starts puffing up like that, then you can turn it over and fry the other side. It's all done. The next one in. And again, you need to control the temperature because it will burn if you leave it on high. This is what it should look like. Nice and fluffy. Puffed up a little bit. It's never going to puff up all the way up unless you have a really wet dough. And this is just as tasty. And I have one more to do. So it will go fast. It probably takes me a minute or two just to make one. And the thinner you make it, obviously you get a bigger pita, but you don't want to make it too thin. See how it's puffing up right here? It's ready to turn. And here's my pile of misshaped pita breads, but that's reality. I'm gonna enjoy it just as much if they were perfect. I'm ready to serve my pita and my hummus. This will go very well with our dinner. We're gonna have some shish kebabs. Enjoy it. It's much better than what you buy in the store. See you next time.